Marching through from West Park Cemetery, literally a few seconds ago, we saw doves being released and basically flying, which is quite symbolic, really, just setting the late Mama Gertrude Shope, her spirit free, and saying, as South Africa, you owed us nothing. You emptied yourself out in the way that you lived your life, and at the moment a vote of thanks is being given. If we can get our camera to just zoom out a little bit, you'll be able to see the tombstone, Mzwai, of the late Gertrude Shope. It's going to stand there as a monument and a constant reminder that says, here lies a daughter of South Africa, someone whose footsteps will be able to trace. And we were thinking about it, just the decades. I mean, she lived 9 decades, 7 of those dedicated to her being a member of the ANC since 1954. But I was thinking about the episodes in history that she would have witnessed. So as soon as she joins the ANC, that's 1954.
Yes.
55 is the Freedom Charter.
Yes.
56 is the Women's March. Mm-hmm. 1960 is Sharpeville.
Yeah.
All of the in the mix there is the Rivonia trial, 1963, yes, thereabouts, because she was part of those that played a supportive role. You fast forward into the 70s, so the kinds of people that she would have interacted with needed to understand this new generation, right? Because if you think about it, 1954 is the ages of the Defiance campaign. Yes. It's a different generation.
Different generations.
By 1976, it's a different generation.
Totally different.
Yeah.
But the mission, by and large, remains the same.
Yeah.
Because we're still living then in a country that is still not free, a country that is still in an apartheid situation where discrimination is the order of the day.
Yeah.
And she is going through all these epochs under different guises, yeah, and she is there witnessing it all.
Yeah.
And very lucky enough to live, you said 9 decades. The reverend there, I think the chaplain,
in fact, it's
said,
10 decades.
Said, well, he would, if it were possible, he would want to be at least these 2-3 months, yes, to be kind of like gifted to her, so that it's
absolutely it is 10 decades. Yes. And I think part of what the chaplain was saying there, yeah, is if we can dedicate the next 3 months, yes, to as society, because at the end of the day, Mzwai, as much as we reflect on the past and the history, what lives well lived like this one do is to challenge us, yeah, to say, what will be your legacy when you go? And also, do you mean to tell me that all these sacrifices that we've been talking about the whole morning into the afternoon would have been in vain? You know what I mean?
I mean, if you are gifted that long life, so it should be meaningful. And as we sit here and looking at how long she lived, and then we see the kind of contributions, yeah, you immediately look at yourself. You don't have to be in politics, but look at yourself as a citizen of this, yeah, country, in whatever area you want to contribute in. Is that going to be a lasting legacy? Is it something in future people will say, well, this is what Thulas did, and we have to follow in the footsteps of Thulas? So these are the lessons we are taking, yeah, from her life.
I liked the conversation that Natasha Piri had with one of the ANC, I think ANC Youth League leaders, yeah, in the region of Joburg, yes, right? Yes, yes. I liked where he took the conversation to say, for me it says, if there's any notion that women were passengers in getting us to where we are, dispel that notion, lose that notion, get rid of that notion. Yeah. And therefore, once you do that, it says a lot about how you understand the role of women in South Africa, the inherent dignity of women in South Africa, your role in ensuring that the dignity of women is not violated. I felt that was his core message.
It was. In fact, you also look at the examples, because it's not only about what she says, but she also set the examples. I mean, the fact that she is the second woman to be in the second woman to be in the NEC of the ANC tells you stories.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first being Florence Maposho. So that tells you that some of the things she would want to see achieved, she didn't just speak about them,
Yeah.
but she acted on them.
Yeah.
So that you are able to then make that kind of the difference you wish to see.
And Mzwai, the layers for me as well, the layers of systemic issues that needed to be addressed. Because even the ANC, as forward-thinking and as, you know, as ahead of its time as it was at its founding and over the decades, there were many areas in which it needed to be nudged and pushed, such that it understood, you know, its true character, the character that was already there that needed to come out and be lived out to its fullest. So debates such as representation of people who are not black, by white South Africans, etc.
Yes.
That was a debate at some point.
On its own, yeah.
Leadership of women, the likes of Gertrude Shope, made sure that that conversation is front and center. But the other aspect I wanted to reflect upon very quickly, Mzwai, at the transition, the role that she then plays as part of the Federation of South African Women, that says, okay, you are now shaping a new South Africa. There is no way we are going to allow you to leave out the voices of women. We are going to be central in how that is shaped.
You know, one of the interesting aspects about everything in the country now is that when we speak, particularly within the ANC, about 50-50 or representation, it's no longer an issue. It's taken as, it's second nature.
Yeah.
So why? Because they fought so hard to the point that so everyone has agreed that this is the way to go.
Yeah.
And if someone is able to then effect that kind of change, so that tells you about how powerful that individual was without shouting from the rooftops.
Yeah.
Because some people think you only make a difference because you will have to shout and everyone hears you. Yet the deeds that you do, even behind the scenes, can make a meaningful impact. That is why the issue of representation is actually, in inverted commas, a non-issue, particularly from the organization she comes from. But then the question is, some of the challenges that the organization is facing, in fact, as I was looking at Siviwe Pisangakula, who also holds this, who held the position that she holds.
Right.
At the moment, she's facing the charges. And you look at some of the internal dynamics and you ask yourself, so will the ANC be able to, at some point, rise above this?
Absolutely.
Because it has chosen to be the vehicle of change. Are they able to live up to those expectations?
Mzwai, we've got to leave it there. I've truly enjoyed our time together this afternoon, covering this truly historic funeral of a titan, a colossus of our history, Gertrude Shope. As we wrap up, that's it really from us. It's been a special broadcast of this official funeral, Category 1, that was afforded the late Gertrude Shope. But don't go anywhere. Another daughter of Gertrude Shope, Alicia Jali, is on standby, and she will take you through the rest of the afternoon with the team at SA Today. That's it from us. Take care.